Do not ask God anymore if this person is for you. Do not ask God anymore to show you any more signs, because the writing is on the wall. We allow people to play with us way too much because we're always trying to see the good in them. And I'm learning myself to take things for what they are and always to believe what it is that a person shows you. A person's character is their character, and 9 times out of 10, most people don't change. The reason why most people don't change is because when an individual is doing something to you that is either hurtful, or they're not taking your feelings into consideration, they're being ungrateful to you, or if they're not treating you the way that you are treating them, we always try to see the good and we always try to make excuses for people. And people ain't gonna change. And you have to believe people when they show you who they are. And patience is so important. Patience is a learned skill. I have learned that patience is a skill that you have to have in order to be able to see the things that you want to see, or to see things come into fruition. And a lot of the times when we're dealing with people, we don't have enough patience. It's because we want what we want. So we convince ourselves to think or believe things that aren't necessarily true. And that's why we get hurt. And then we're always asking God to send us a sign. And it's like the writing is on a wall. If a person is taking advantage of you, if they're not being considerate of you and your feelings, that's who they are. That's a character flaw. If you have to tell them over and over and over again and talk to them about the same thing, and they haven't made any desired change, it's because they don't want to, and they don't care about your feelings, and they are going to continue to use you, and they're going to abuse you. I've had exes that have come back around, and of course I was one of the people who would take them back. And the more I've grown and the more I have figured out, like started learning myself, I would ask the question. I'm like, I was doing all this for this person, not saying that I needed to accolade, but it was because of who I was and who I wanted to be to them, and just treating them how I would want to be treated. And I would be like, I would do all this stuff to them because they'll come back and be like, oh, I miss you. And I'm like, I started thinking, like, what is it that you really miss? Do you miss the benefits that you had when you were with me? Do you miss taking advantage of me? What is it exactly that you miss? A lot of people miss you because they're trying to get something from you. They're trying to take something from you. And a lot of people will take from you. A lot of people will drink from your cup but won't allow you to drink from theirs. And so I had to start thinking, like, I had to start saying to myself, like, do you miss me specifically, or do you miss the benefit? A lot of people will use and abuse you if you let them. And a lot of the times, because we say we love a person, we overlook a lot of the things that they do to us, and that's toxic behavior. That's damaging, and it's traumatizing as well. And so I say that to say, at the end of the day, sometimes you don't need discernment. God has given you discernment. God has given you common sense. He's given you knowledge. That's why he's given us a brain that has multiple functions. And so we keep asking God to send us a sign or let me know when it's time. And it's like, all you have to do is sit, be patient, and be watchful of somebody's actions. And then within those actions, they're always going to reveal to you who it is they are and who it is they are to you. And you have to either be willing to accept their behaviors if you want to continue to be in their lives, or you have to walk away and be okay with walking away, because you know your self-worth. And knowing who you are and knowing your self-worth is so much more than just dealing with a person. Having self-worth is golden. Sometimes you have to be by yourself to know who you are, and to know what you offer, and to know what you bring to the table. Because if you don't know who you are, And if you don't know what you bring to the table, why would you expect for someone else to know who you are and to care about what you bring to the table? And 9 times out of 10, when people are using you and taking advantage of you, the first thing they want to say is, well, I didn't ask you to do it. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't stop me from doing it either. So that's how you know a lot of people are selfish. That's how you know a lot of people want to use you. That's how you know a lot of people want to abuse you, is because they'll gaslight you into thinking that you are insane for feeling the way that you feel, or you are insane for going above and beyond because you care about this person, because you love them. But at the end of the day, if a person doesn't see your worth, and I'm not even going to say if a person doesn't see your worth. If you don't see your worth, a person won't see their worth. And I'd much rather be alone and be by myself and have peace than to be desperate and say I have a man or have somebody in my life who doesn't appreciate me, who does not care to appreciate me, and who doesn't want to change their ways or their behavior. I say that to say the sign is in your face. The writing is on the wall, and that's all you need. You don't need to keep asking God for signs because he's given them to you. You don't need to keep asking God to give you strength because he's given it to you. The question is what are you going to do with the information that he's given you?